Hello everyone, and welcome to my Soap Twist 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Electra's lips opened, and the words slipped out like a dagger she didn't intend to unsheath. I don't love. Three flat, final syllables hung in the air between them like smoke from a gunshot. Will's face, which was already tense from the pressure of the evening, froze. The restaurant surrounding them, low amber lighting, clink of silverware, whisper of couples who weren't imploding, mutated into a dull cacophony in his ears. He had asked the question gently, almost playfully, after months of tangled bedding and whispered plans. Do you envision a future with me? He hadn't expected a confession. He'd expected a smile, a nod, or a let's talk about it later. Not this. The waiter approached with their entrees. Will's steak and Electra's salmon, both unfinished since the appetizers, and detected the chill. He placed down the plates and left without saying anything. Will glanced at the woman across from him, the one he'd met at a gallery opening 6 months before, with sharp cheekbones and sharper wit, her black dress clinging like it had been painted on. She glanced back unwavering, her eyes the color of a winter sky. You don't love, he said, his voice low, as if the words could bite. Me? Or anyone? Electra lifted her water glass and took a slow drink. Anyone. Not in the way you mean it. The restaurant's jazz trio switched to something small, a saxophone sobbing. Will felt the disappointment settle in his gut, heavy as the wine he hadn't tasted. He'd known she was guarded, God, the things she told about her past, the father who abandoned her, the mother who drank, the series of foster homes that taught her trust was a luxury she couldn't afford. But he'd thought what? That he was different? That his patience, his steady employment at the architecture business, and his stupidly genuine faith in us would break her open? He leaned back, the chair creaking. So, everything, the evenings at my apartment, the trip to Big Sur, the way you laughed when I burned the pancakes was what? Electra's fingers curled on the stem of her glass. Real, she said. In its way. I like you, Will. I appreciate how you observe the world and draw buildings in the margins of napkins. I like your hands. Her attention shifted to them, laying on the tablecloth. But love. What about the sort that lasts forever? I would die for you kind? That's not in me. Will's throat worked. He wanted to fight, to recount the incidents he documented as proof, the time she fell asleep on his chest during a rainstorm, the way she kissed him when he'd landed the downtown loft project, the text she sent at 2 a.m. After a nightmare. Could you just talk till I fall back asleep? But the word stuck. So what could he say? You're mistaken about yourself. Give it time. He had already attempted it in softer ways, and now they were here. He pushed the plate away. Electra, I can't do half measures. I thought you knew that. I do. Her voice was firm, but her eyes glistened. He couldn't tell if she was angry or crying. And I cannot pretend to be someone I am not. Not for you. Not for anyone. The check arrived, nestled inside a leather folder. Will reached for it instinctively. Electra did not object. Outside, the night air was harsh, with the scent of rain on the pavement. They stood on the pavement, the restaurant's valet watching them carefully. Will's automobile, a respectable gray sedan, arrived first. He opened the passenger door out of habit before closing it again. I think I should go alone, he said. Electra nodded. Okay. He waited for more, an apology, a plea, anything, but she simply turned and walked toward the corner, heels clicking, her black dress absorbed by the darkness. Will waited until she vanished before getting into his car and driving away. Not at home. He couldn't face the apartment yet, the couch where they'd watched old movies, the kitchen counter where she'd danced barefoot to Billie Holiday. He drove to the office instead, entered with his keycard, and sat at his drafting table beneath the fluorescent hum. He took out a fresh page of vellum and uncapped a pen. Usually, he sketched buildings with crisp lines and deliberate angles. Tonight he drew her. When she was contemplating, her hair fell across one eye, and her shoulder sloped. He depicted the restaurant table, the untouched salmon, and her mouth as she said those 3 words. The pen scratched furiously. When he completed, the page resembled a crime scene. His phone vibrated. A text from his sister, Maya, asking how the big chat went. He glanced at it, thumbs hesitating before typing, "Not great." He removed it and typed, "We're done." He sent it before he had time to overthink it. Maya made a quick call.
Will?
What happened? He told her, his voice flat, avoiding the bits that stung the most. Maya listened and remarked, "She is terrified, you know. People like that, they build walls so high they forget there's a door." "Maybe," he replied, "but I'm tired of knocking." He hung up, opened his laptop, and began looking for apartments in Seattle. He promised himself a fresh start. New city, new projects, and new people who were unafraid of the term love. But the cursor blinked mockingly.
He closed the tab.
Days turned into weeks. Will immersed himself into his work, late nights, early mornings, caffeine, and deadlines. He avoided the gallery district and the jazz club where they had previously danced together, gin-fueled. He assured himself he was fine. His co-workers bought it, but Maya didn't. "You're punishing yourself," she observed over coffee one Saturday, while her toddler slept in a stroller alongside them. She said something harsh, yes. "But you are acting as if she died." "She would as well have," he mumbled. Maya rolled her eyes. "Drama king. Okay, I get it. You foresaw a future with her. But perhaps the future you glimpsed wasn't hers to give." He wanted to disagree, but the truth had settled like dust. He'd seen a complete life in his head, Electra in a sunlit kitchen, sketching beside him, their children, her eyes and his stubborn chin. He had never asked if she wanted that. He had assumed. He saw her one night, 3 beers in, while out with co-workers at a bar. Not Electra, but someone who moves and laughs like her. His heart lurched, then plummeted, when the woman turned, and it wasn't there. He left early, walked home through deserted streets, and for the first time, cried. Not attractive tears, ugly, snot-nosed sobbing in the shower, water drowning out the sound. He did not call her. She did not call him. The silence grew sharper. A month later, I received an email. There's no subject. Source: Electra, Vance.art. He almost deleted it, but his cursor lingered, betraying. Well, I have been painting. A lot. The canvases are aggressive, with reds, blacks, and white slashes throughout. My gallerist considers them my best work. I despise that you're in them. Not your appearance, but your absence. The area where you should be. I lied in the restaurant. Not about the love part. I still don't know how it feels, not in the same way that you do. But I lied when I said it was simple to walk away. It is not. I miss your ridiculous pancakes. I miss the way you hum when focusing. I miss the feeling that someone spotted me and did not look away. I am not asking for anything. I am aware that what I said broke something. But I needed you to know that it broke me too. He read it twice, 3 times, before closing the laptop. Sat in the dark, heart pounding. Part of him wanted to respond. Come over. Let us try again. I will accept whatever you can offer. Another, stronger voice screamed, She'll hurt you again. She warned you. He did not sleep. At 3 a.m., he opened his laptop and typed, Electra, I read your email. I've read it 20 times. I'm not sure what to say that won't sound like begging or bitterness. Both feel true. You did not lie about your affection. You were honest in a way that I was not prepared for. I created a version of you that suited my life, and when you didn't, I pretended it was your fault. It was not. I apologize for it. I miss you, too. But I cannot be your almost. Not again. Take care of yourself. Will he send the message and then removed her contact information? It felt definite, like closing a door he had kept open for weeks. Spring arrived early that year. Will took on a pro bono assignment, redesigning a community center in a place he'd never been to. The task kept him grounded and gave his hands meaning. He began running again, early in the mornings beside the river, his breath fogging from the chill. He previously dated a graphic artist named Lena, who was decent enough, but when she moved in to kiss him goodnight, he backed away. Not ready. Perhaps never. One Saturday, Maya pulled him to an art walk. Fresh air, she emphasized. No brooding. He walked away, hands in his pockets, avoiding couples and street musicians. Then he noticed it, a canvas in a gallery window, vivid reds and blacks, a person reaching for something that wasn't there. His stomach sank. Electra's work. He recognized it like his own heartbeat. The gallery was full, with wine flowing. He searched for her, half hoping, half fearing. She was not there. Her pieces, however, were 6 in number and hung in a row. The gallerist, a woman with a tight bun, caught his attention. "Vance's new series," she explained. "We sold out in an hour. Isn't it powerful?" "Yeah," he replied. He purchased a catalog and snuck out before the crowd grew. Back at home, he spread it out on the table. The paintings were titled Absence Number 1, Absence Number 2, and Absence Number 6. The last one stopped him, a charcoal figure with a lowered head and open hands. Beneath it, in little script, for W, who noticed the door. He closed the catalog, his heart suffering in a manner that wasn't just agony. Summer has here, hot and unrelenting. Will's firm secured a large contract for sustainable houses in the desert. He offered to supervise the site visits, preferring distance. Phoenix heat, vast sky, a place where heartbreak seemed little. He worked, sweated, and drank cold beer alongside the group. He called Maya one night, under a starry sky. "I think I'm okay," he said. "What do you think?" She teased. "I am. It hurts less. Like a scar, not a wound." "Good," she replied. "You deserve that." He returned home in August, tanned and lighter. His apartment felt different from theirs. He hung a new sketch on the wall, depicting the community center and children playing in a courtyard he had built. There are no ghosts in the lines. Then September. A late-night knock on his door, rain beating against the windows. He opened it to find Electra, drenched, with her hair plastered to her face, and holding a folded canvas. "I know you said no almost," she said, "but I'm not here for that." He walked aside silently. She stepped in, soaking on the mat, and unrolled the canvas on his table. It was new, soft blues and golds, a horizon with 2 humans standing close together, but not touching. Really near. "I still don't know love," she said, her voice quivering. "It's not like you. But I know I don't want to continue painting absences. I seek possibilities. If you let me, I will be with you. No promises that I cannot keep. Just be honest." And time. Will gazed at the art, then at her, red-rimmed eyes, trembling lips. He remembered the door Maya mentioned, the one behind Electra's walls. Perhaps it was still there. Perhaps it expanded slowly. "I can't go back," he explained. "But maybe forward." Different. She nodded, tears welling up. Different is enough. He did not kiss her. Not yet. He made tea in 2 mugs, with steam curling between them. They sat on the couch, with the canvas on the table like a map. Outside, the rain subsided to a quiet. It wasn't love, not in the way he had previously defined it, but there was something. Maybe this is the beginning. Alternatively, a re-envisioned continuance. Will did not sketch that night. He listened to Electra's peaceful stories, the rain, and his own heart's slow, steady beat as it learned a new rhythm. Months later, the painting was displayed in his office, above the drafting table. Colleagues inquired about it. He smiled and stated it was done by someone prominent. Electra arrived at the community center opening and stood by him as children rushed through the courtyard, giggling. She did not touch his hand, but her shoulder brushed against his, warm and genuine. Love, he concluded, was not a term. It was a space, sometimes large, sometimes narrow, in which 2 people chose to stand every day, even when it was difficult. Electra could still not utter it, but she showed up, and for the time being that was the door they passed through together. At first, the words appeared to float in the air, suspended in incredulity. Will's expression wavered. He blinked, as if hit with a surprise he couldn't process. His heart beat in his ears. The peace they had previously shared seemed to break right there. Electra stood, her fingertips delicately caressing the back of a chair as if she needed something to support her. Will rose to his feet as well, his words halting in his throat. Electra, what are you saying? Her eyes softened for a brief second before returning to its resolution. We are done. I can't do this anymore. Her tone was soft, yet the words echoed around the small room. And with that, the declaration broke open years of trust, laughing, shared evenings, and plans. Will's world tilted. He expected a battle, a long conversation, harsh words, even tears, but not such an abrupt exit. Not 3 words and an immediate disconnect. He sank back into the chair, strain pushing his shoulders forward. His thoughts rushed through memories of early mornings with coffee cups, shared jokes in the corridor, and discreet glances across the room when no one was watching. Memories from a future they imagined they'd share. Why now? He asked, his voice shaking. When did things change? Electra turned her back to him for a bit before facing him again. It changed a long time ago, she explained. But I waited. I tried. And I hoped. I believed we could repair it. But tonight, I realized, I don't want to wait anymore. Will closed his eyes, feeling the pain of her words. He opened them slowly. What have I done wrong?
She sighed.
It is not about one thing. It's not a single error. The distance between us has expanded. The silences have devoured talks. It's the feeling that I'm alone, even though you're right here. Will's heart twisted. He knew which evenings he worked late at the workplace. The mornings when he woke up early, and she was already gone. When she tried to talk, he merely half-listened. He remembered the promises they made, the forever that seemed so simple back then. And he realized she had seen it coming, possibly before he did. How long have you been feeling this way? He questioned, his voice low. Electra did not respond quickly. She looked away. After a minute, she added, for a while. I thought I could turn things around. But I am exhausted, Will. I'm tired of wondering if I'm important to you. I am weary of seeing you go, and never return till you are ready. So I'm walking away. Will's thoughts raced. The room seemed colder now. The light overhead appeared harsh. He wanted to reach for her and pull her back, but his arms felt heavy with sorrow, dread, and longing. I don't want this, he stated softly. I love you. She remained motionless. Her expression gave nothing away. I used to believe that, she explained. But love is no longer enough. Not with us the way we are. There is silence. He glanced at her, his chest tightening. All the unspoken things piled up between them. The late texts he ignored, the tears she shed in the bathroom after a quarrel he couldn't recall, the evenings when her back was to him and he pretended not to see. All the subtle betrayals, not grand actions, but the deterioration of relationships. He swallowed. Could we try?
Talk. Fix it?
His voice crackled. He was reaching, but she held the line. Electra shakes her head. I don't know if trying is enough when the other person isn't really committed. I'm not sure whether we can recreate what we've lost. Will's throat felt dry. He remembered her previous trust in him, the glitter in her eye, when they discussed their future. He reflected on how he had allowed his career and diversions replace dinners and late-night conversations. He reflected on how he assumed love meant they'd always find their way back, even if they drifted apart. Please, he whispered, give me one more chance. She gazed at him, her eyes soft but watchful. I have already given so many chances. I showed up when you weren't present. I hoped and hoped. I need more than hope. I want to take action. I want to feel seen. She hesitated. Will took a big breath. And right now, I don't. His voice was small. I see you now. Electra's expression softened, but she did not reach out.
Thank you.
But I am leaving. I hope you understand. As she stepped away, his knees weakened. He watched her exit the room, the door gently closing behind her. And when the silence subsided, it felt heavier than any debate had ever been. In the days that followed, Will strolled through the house, the flat where they had once laughed together, and felt the echo of her absence. Everything, including the coffee cup she used and the open book she left on the table, spoke of her and reminded him of what he had lost. He realized he needed to face the truth. This wasn't just a hard patch. This marked the end of a chapter, and he had been the one to let the pages fall away. Electra moved out shortly after. They exchanged texts that were courteous and tense, with longing buried behind formal language. Will tried to contact her, but each attempt reminded him of how far apart they had gotten. One evening, he found himself sitting on the balcony, the city lights blinking as if mocking him. He held the phone to his ear. "Electra?" He spoke softly. Silence. "Electra, I'm sorry." He heard a sigh, and with it, the finality hit in. She said nothing. He knew that 3 words had altered everything. He peered into the night, the words echoing. "It's over, Will." He knew he needed to rebuild. Not just from the breakup, but from the man he had become. The one who had lost someone because he stopped paying attention. He promised to show up differently next time, to listen and be present. Because this time, they ended with submission rather than rage. And in the silence following her departure, Will felt the weight of his decisions. He missed her laughter and the warmth of her hand in his. He understood how much he had loved her and how little he had battled to keep her alive. He noticed the aspects of himself that he had overlooked, the behaviors he had taken for granted. He sat there under the city lights, a fresh breeze blowing around him, promising himself that he would change. Not for others, but for himself. Because he didn't want to wake up one day and tell someone he loved, "It's over."
Me.